Millie, it's yoga time. So you can find your way into a comfortable place, lying down or seated. That's you too, Millie. Go to bed. So our requests today were, I've forgotten them. I haven't. They're somewhere in there. Oh, heart openers, triangle, and it's hot today, so we're gonna take it easy. My neighbor, she works for the National Weather Service, so she comes over sometimes and she's like, just so you know, it's gonna get hot. Like she'll give me a little update. So I knew this one was coming. Um, so find a comfortable place to be. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe the eyes closed, or maybe you gaze softly at the floor. And just start to like set the intention, set the stage, set your your sort of energy level for your practice, the tone rather of like turning your attention towards yourself, settling into the space, just like setting the stage for for your practice. Feeling the sitting bones pressing down towards the earth and the crown of the head up towards the sky. Shoulders broad and relaxed. And then start to invite yourself, invite your mind to be here. Obviously, your body is here, but the mind, it's going to try to get you out of here. So just keep inviting the mind to be here. Here with the body, here with the breath. And once it seems a little more willing to be anchored, start deepen your breath. Let it be a very gradual progression towards a deepened breath. Letting the breath be really slow, allowing this breathing practice to be like your first yoga stretch, right? You're stretching the lungs, you're stretching the diaphragm, you're stretching your body's patience, right? You're playing with patience, waiting for that moment when the lungs are full, waiting for that moment when the lungs are empty. And let the mind just watch what shifts, watch what changes. Allow the shoulders to relax, belly just engaged enough to keep you nice and upright, and then everything else can relax. Good. And let's move into alternate nostril breathing. As long as you're not too stuffy today from if it's your allergy season. But the next time you find yourself inhaling, just close your right nostril and inhale through the left. And when you're ready to exhale, switch sides, exhale through the right. And just take your time. Inhale through the right. And exhale through the left. I like layering these two on. I like letting the breath be really slow and deep, but see how that works for you. If you need it to be more of a just natural breath, that's okay. Just being really gentle with yourself, being just willing to be here in this moment with your breathing as you practice alternate nostril breathing in through one nostril, out through the other, through nostril, out through the other. Good. And if you feel ready and complete, the next time you exhale through your left nostril, let that be the last one. Before you return to a natural breathing pattern. And just sit with it a moment. Notice how you feel. Notice what has shifted. Notice what has changed. And since we are all seated, we'll start at the top for a moment. So just taking a breath in, and when you're ready to exhale, just bring your chin down towards your chest. On an inhale, gently roll your head to one side. Then exhale, chin to chest. So next inhale, roll your head to the opposite side. Exhale, chin to chest, checking in on the jaw, on the upper back, just making sure everything is relaxed. Just letting your mind move through all the layers of awareness, like all the different things you can be aware of, rather. The body, the breath, the stretch, the shift, even the progression, right? I was really stiff on the first couple, and now it's starting to feel a little better. So there's so many layers of what we can focus on. So the next time your head is tipped one side, just pause there. Just settle into it and breathe. Eventually make your way carefully to the other side. And pause there for a breath or two. Settling in, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. Good. And then when you're ready, you can bring your chin to your chest. You can start to blink your eyes open and bring your gaze back up. So let's get the legs out of the way, or at least stretched out a bit. So if you're sitting on something, just push it off to the side and just get your legs to move around, get them a little happier. And then I usually start with a little cat and cow. So I'm going to leave this as yogi's choice. You can do this from hand. If you need a blanket or something for hands and knees, you can grab that. But find your way into what would suit you, right? Hands and knees are seated, and then we'll do a little cat and cow. So if you're sitting, your legs can be in whatever position they want to be in. And as you inhale, your back arches. And as you exhale, your back rounds. So just starting to articulate the spine. Exhale to round. Inhale to arch. And just take your time. Slow, deep breath as we warm up the spine. It's really all we're doing, just warming up the spine. Good. And from here, if it feels safe, you can bring your knees a little wider, big toes together, and you can come into child's pose. If that doesn't feel safe, you can sit upright and drape your body over the knees. And with your arms stretched out, because I think we're all in child's pose from what I can tell, just walk your hands a little bit over to the right side of your yoga mat and just feel that stretch on the left side body. Just deepen the breath. And then walk your hands over to the left side of your yoga mat. Breathe into the right side body. Good. And then come back through center. You can come back up the table. We're not going to be here too much longer, but if it feels okay on your back, you can press your hips forward, do a little upward facing dog. I know we haven't done this in a while. And then come back through table, where essentially we'll just come to seated. So you can bring your hips to one side and swing your legs out. So now we'll do it the way we typically do it, but we'll add a little strength if you want it. So I like to kind of dig my heels into the sticky mat and keep my knees bent. And you want to be right on your sitting bones. I like to hug the heels back to my sitting bones so that it starts to engage the legs a little bit. It's up to you. You can do it a little bit and then back off. You can kind of come in and out of it. Basically, you can engage your belly and sit up nice and tall and just let your arms be, I'm going to twist for a second, like cactus arms. And as you inhale, gently press your elbows back and feel your shoulder blades squeeze together, your heart open. And as you exhale, I like to point my toes and lengthen my legs just a little bit. And you're going to reach your arms forward, almost like you're diving into a pool of water, not the legs, but the upper back. And then inhale, bend your knees, draw your heels back, open the heart. Exhale, round. So it's a little bit more strong, like a little stronger than the hands and knees version. So you inhale, you draw your arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then exhale forward. So keep your belly strong, especially when you're doing your back bend. And it's really up to you how many layers of strength you add on. Like I like to point the toes forward when I come forward, pull the legs back or the heels back as I come into my arch. Good. And the next time you're rounded forward, just release, put the legs in any shape they would feel good to be in, and just round or drape your body over the legs. And breathe. And then unfurl, start to draw yourself back up to seated. You can bring your hands behind you. I like to bend the elbows just a little bit so I can squeeze the shoulder blades together. The belly can be strong here too, and gently press your heart forward. So basically what we were doing before, we're going to hold it and breathe, just opening the heart. Good. And you can release your arms. You can extend your legs. Your hands can go behind you a little bit and just let your feet go side to side. Good. And you can pause there. And let's see. Let's do this. So we'll do a little side. Oh, I remember what I want to do. Sorry, I had a plan and then it lost in my brain and now it's back. Sorry. So bring your hands behind you, or forearms, feet wide, and we'll do that little hip opener, just that warm up, right? Knees go side to side. And it's really up to you if you're on your forearms or on your hands. I like the glute massage that happens when you're on your forearms. Good. Since we're going to do triangle, I thought we would do, we kind of work the inner thigh or the adductors because they get a stretch in triangle. So we'll do that next. So next time the knees go to the right, you can pause there, pick yourself up. Good. And we'll do our classic little hip opener here. So, or warm up. So left hand on hip, right hand beside you on the floor. Inhale, press the hip and twist a little bit as you look over your right shoulder. And exhale, unwind, look over your left shoulder. So just kind of rocking the hip forward and back. And let's do that one more to each direction. Good. And then we'll do basically the same thing, but with the left leg straight. So it's up to you how far it goes. The further out, the more intense that stretch is going to be. But I always start with on the hip and then I switch them in a moment. So inhale, the hip comes up, the toes go down, you twist, and then exhale, the toes come up and you lean a little bit over that leg. The other option is swinging your hands over the bent knee as you twist, toes go down, and then swinging your hands over the straight leg as the toes come up and you unwind. So just kind of rolling over those tight muscles on the inner thigh. Good. And the next time your hands are over your bent knee, just pause there. This might be perfect stretch to hold, or I like to swing the knee back a little bit. I like to keep it bent. It's less intense. And you can kind of lengthen your spine here. There'll be a little bit of a back bend in the upper back. The other option is straightening your leg back behind you. It's totally up to you. But just breathe. Just take a moment, breathe. Find something that would feel good. You could be in movement. You can be in stillness. There's no right way to do this. I always say the wrong would be if it hurts, right? So make sure it doesn't hurt. Good. And to come out, just bend the back knee back to where you started, hands behind you, and allow the knees to go side to side. Good. And let's do the other way. So knees to the left. Great. And we'll start just do like 3 with the hand on the hip. So and both knees bend. So inhale, press your hip and twist a little bit. Exhale, unwind. Yeah. So just breathing through it. Inhale forward. Just really noticing how your body feels. Exhale, unwind. We'll do one more. Good. And then you can straighten your right leg. And it's the same, but the toes go down and then back up. And you lean. I like to lean a little bit over the straight leg. That's, you see how you feel about that. But just really letting your mind dive into how this feels, where you feel it the most, where you feel it the least, what your breath is up to. And if your body is really tight today, just let that be an observation without judgment. Good. Next time your hands are over your bent knee, you can pause there. You can always swing your leg back a little bit, knee bent or leg straight. It's up to you. I usually call this almost pigeon, so it's up to you, but find a place to hold, something that, has a little bit of stretch in it, something that feels good. Good. And breathe. Good. And when you're ready, you can start to unwind. You can kind of gather your knees back to where you started, hands behind you. Let your knees come up and let them go side to side one more time. Good. So the next time, let's let the knees go over to the right again. I just want to do one little thing here. So if you work on like lengthening your spine from here, so knees over. Did I say right? I went left, but I said right. I think I said right. Sorry. Knees to the right, please. And you want to sit up nice and tall, kind of point your tailbone towards the ground, press the crown of the head up towards the sky. Yeah. And then take your left hand. It can be on the ground or on your right knee. And take your right arm and just start to reach it up. So just starting to feel through the right side body. And this might be plenty of stretch. Or you can arc over, maybe just a little bit or a lot towards the towards the left knee. Good. And breathe. Like, for me to feel a stretch, I don't really have to go that far because you want the structural integrity there to be strong. You want your core to be strong. You're not like bending over to the side. It's more of a lift up and arc over. Great. Keep breathing. Good. And when you're ready, you can come back up, release the arm, hands behind you, wide apart, and allow the knees to go side to side. Good. And then whenever you're ready, switch over to the other side. So this time we'll go left. Good. You can sit up nice and tall and just let your mind kind of move through um, the body, feeling tailbone down, heart lifts up, crown lifts up. You can bring your right hand to your left knee and let your left arm reach up. And maybe this is plenty. Right? Belly strong. Or maybe you arc over. Right? It's kind of intense when we do it like this. So, be nice to yourself. Let it be gentle. Find kind of feel your way through gentle on this. For me, I have to like back way off from where my mind wants me to do it, right? My mind just wants me to, like twist up like a pretzel, but I want to honor what my body needs today, and that's not twisting like a pretzel. Right? Maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you do want to twist like a pretzel today. All right, so when you're ready, you can release. Hands behind you. And from here, you can bring your knees up in front and just either knees up or knees out. That's yogi's choice. And just drape your body over the legs. Just take a few slow, deep breaths as you start to stretch the lumbar, the upper back. Good. And you can start to unwind and kind of roll your way back up. Good. All right, let's come up to standing. Yeah, let's come up to standing. All right. So once you get there, you can bring your find your mountain first of all. Good. And then let your right foot step a little bit in front of where it was. So not on a balance beam, but feet hip distance, hips square. You can bring your hands into prayer. Feel your tailbone draping towards the ground or pointing straight towards the ground. And as you inhale, just reach your arms up, belly strong, but heart open. Good. And then exhale, bring your arms down in front of you, both arms parallel to the ground. Good. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, kind of press your left fingers forward as you pull your right arm back. Elbow can be bent for now. Then bring your arms back to where you started. Good. We'll inhale, bring the arms up. We'll just take a little break, little stretch. And then exhale, arms parallel to the ground. Hug your belly into the spine, soften the shoulders, and then gently pull the right arm. You lengthen through your left fingers. Good. Come back through center. We'll do that one more time before we hold it. So inhale, reach the arms up, take a little break. Exhale, arms parallel to the ground. Right foot still in front of where it was. Left fingers reach forward as the right arm pulls back. And this time it's up to you. You can keep your right hand to the shoulder, right fingers to the shoulder. You can slide your hand to the low back. Some people feel quite twisty and they can extend the arm open. So whatever feels good to you. My shoulders don't always love that. So lengthen through the spine, hug the belly into the spine to protect your lumbar. Keep breathing. Good. And wherever your right arm is, start to bring it back to the left arm as you untwist and unwind. Good. Reach your arms up one more time. You can step your feet together and we'll take a little forward fold. So just folding over the legs to take a little break. You can bend your knees if you'd like. You can let your head hang heavy. Maybe taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and then sighing it out through the mouth. You can do that as many times as you'd like. And eventually bending your knees to keep your chin tucked and just rolling your way up one bone at a time, right? Bone by bone. Articulating the spine and your awareness of it, really. It articulates all on its own, but let your mind move through it. Good. And just give yourself a moment to kind of settle, to come really gently back into mountain. Sometimes we come into mountain real strong, right? It's like, like just tighten and strengthen. But like, what would it feel like? What would it look like if your mountain was like really gently built? Like, you can be strong and gentle at the same time. So just kind of gently find your balance in mountain. And then we'll build our strength on top of that gentleness. Right, so standing up nice and tall, you can take your left foot, step it in front of where it was. You can bring your hands into prayer. I'll have to remember the order that I did all this in, but I think I got it. Inhale, reach the arms up just as a way to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, arms parallel to the ground. Press through the right fingers as the left arm pulls back. Looking over your shoulder a little bit, and then come back to center. On an exhale, inhale, arms reach up, just get nice and tall. Hug the belly into the spine. Exhale, arms parallel to the ground. Yeah, reach through the right finger as you start to twist and pull the left arm back. Doesn't matter how far it goes or not so far. Good. And then you can exhale to come back to center. Inhale, we'll do the last one. Inhale to lift. Exhale, arms parallel to the ground. Belly strong. And then you can come into your twist. So your right fingers push forward, your left arm, find out what it wants to do. Maybe the hand rests at the small of your back. Maybe it extends the opposite direction of your right arm. Maybe the hands stay on your shoulders. So there's a lot of options. Just find out what works for you as you twist here and breathe. And on an exhale, you can let your left arm join the right one as you untwist. Inhale the arms up again as you step your feet together. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as deeply as they want to. Let your head hang heavy. Let your shoulders relax. Maybe shaking the shoulders a little bit. Or giving yourself a little sigh on the exhales. Good. Bend your knees, keep your chin tucked, and start to roll your way up bone by bone. Good. All right. Let's keep that sense of like, I like the idea of like the rudiments, right? We're moving the spine in the way it can move, but we need to keep the strength in our body to like make it safe. So if you have a block, you can use it. You don't need it. You guys just know by now that I really like it when I do a side stretch. So it's totally up to you. So a little hug if you are using a block, little hug of the legs towards each other. And really just find, so before I was talking about like mountain, like being gentle, and sure, it's still gentle, but there's a little more strength, right? When we use the block. So that steady base, lift up through the heart. You can bring your hands into prayer with the fingers interlaced, pointers lifted. And then inhale, reach up. Arms can go up, feet press down, find your strength. Just keep breathing. We're not going to really sync breath and movement because I want us to really feel through the structure here. And then very slowly, in a really small way, arc over one way, just either way you want to go. Pause, find your strength, and breathe. Don't worry about how big a stretch or how far you go. Just find a little curve here in your spine, a little C curve to the side, and breathe, right? Find strength as well as stretch. Then use your belly strength, come right back up to center. Release your arms, take a little break. Bring your hands behind you and just like gently press your hips forward, your pelvis forward, open the heart. The shoulder blades can kind of squeeze together a little bit. And then come back to neutral. If you need a break, you can take a break with the block. We are going to do the other side. So fingers interlaced in front of you. Legs strong. You can inhale, reach up. Just remember which side you just did. because you're going to do the opposite. So just pause here and breathe. Find your strength, find those places where you can be gentle, and start to really slowly, with strength, moving into an arc on the other side. So there's definitely a stretch, but you want the strength to be at the center of it. So keep breathing. Soften the shoulders. Good. And then on an inhale, come back up. Release your arms, and you can fold over the legs. You can remove your block. I did it. I didn't say it. And just find what feels good. Little ragdoll here. Good. Bend your knees. Keep your chin tucked. And on an inhaling breath, start to roll your way up, one bone at a time. Good. And when you get there, just notice how you feel. Just notice. All right. So we're kind of building up to our triangle here. Although, let me check the time. Yeah, we can do triangle now. So you can find a wide angled stance. Right toes out or right foot out at a 90-degree angle, left toes in. And we'll work our way in and out of beginning stages. We'll kind of gradually make our way into triangle. So feet kind of gently hug towards each other. Your torso is nice and long. Let's start with hands and hips. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let your hips slide to the left as your shoulders and head go to the right. So everything's strong. So inhale back through center. You also want to keep your tailbone tucked or your tail tucked. So exhale, hinge. Inhale, lift up. The other awareness I always end with is you want the sidelines of your body to be parallel. So sometimes people want to go further, but then the back curves. So come back to center, bring your hands into prayer, and inhale, reach your arms up, get nice and tall. Exhale, arms parallel to the ground as you hinge at your hips. All those things we just kind of practiced still in place. And let's come out of it. Come back to center, arms overhead. Inhale, and then exhale, hinge. So practicing that strength from your center. Inhale back up, right? What if you let go of the destination or the shape or the form that we're doing? Good. Let's do it one more time. If you need a break, you can take a break. The next one we're going to hold. So yeah, so keep breathing. Keep lengthening through your right arm, belly strong. And whenever you're ready, you can pivot the arm. So right arm down, left arm up. I like to gently draw the shoulder back, the left shoulder, and kind of settle the shoulder blade down on the back. I like to look up, but see what your neck likes. Maybe you need to look forward or even down. It's all good. Right? Triangle. So keep breathing. Then bring your left arm to your belly and just remind yourself you're strong. You're going to use your strength to come back up. Beautiful. Turn your toes. And before we fold, we'll take a little break with a fold. If you need to step your feet together, you can. But maybe yoga mudra arms. So interlace your fingers behind your back. Bend your elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then fold over the legs. If you'd rather just let your arms drape down, that's fine. And breathe. Right? Yoga mudra is such a nice antidote to sitting in a chair all day. Upside down is also a nice antidote to sitting in a chair all day. Good. And then if you're in yoga mudra, just pressing up through your knuckles, come up to standing. Otherwise, you can kind of roll your way up. Good. Release your arms. And let's take a little break. Let's step the feet together. Good. And actually, before we do triangle on the other side, if you bring your feet a little wider apart, or not super wide, but just a little bit, we'll do a little standing swinging twist. So just find out how your body wants to do this. Yeah, let the arms go limp, let the heel that you face away from lift up just a little bit. Notice my clicks and cracks. My ankles are really noisy today. Good. And then gradually come back to center. And let's prepare for the other side. So triangle on the other side. So feet wide, left toes out, right toes in. Start with your nice, strong, steady base. So feet kind of hugging towards each other, and we'll do it in stages. So hands to hips, inhale to stand up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge, the hips go to the right, shoulders and head go to the left. And then inhale back. So basically you're hinging so your shoulders go towards the toes that are pointing out. And I can only see you guys from the waist up, so I'm just going to trust that we're all going the right way. Good. So let's come back to center, and we'll add the arms. So inhale, reach up. I always think of it like a zipper, like I'm zipping right up. Everything's nice and strong and centered. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, arms added on this time. Yeah, inhale, come up like you're zipping right up through the center. And then exhale, hinge at your hips. Keep your tailbone tucked under, keep your belly strong, keep your sidelines parallel. Yeah. And the next time you're in it, you can hold and breathe. Keep lengthening through the left fingers. Whenever you're ready to come into triangle, left arm down, right arm up. Keep breathing. And if you find you're in it too far, if you need a break, you can always take a break. So the right shoulder gently presses back and the shoulder blade kind of snugs down the back a little bit. Your gaze can be up, forward, or down, but just don't switch too quickly between the two. It's dizzying. Good. And then bring your right hand to your belly. Remind yourself you're strong. Come all the way up to standing. Great. Turn your toes. If you want yoga mudra arms again, you can do that, or just a forward fold. So yogi's choice, we'll do another forward fold to stretch the back, of the legs, to just relax. I am such a big fan of forward folds. Good. And then from here, if your feet are still wide apart, spin your heels in and your toes out so that you can come up and just pause halfway. If you're in yoga mudra arms, sorry, I forgot about that. You could always just come back up. Good. And then you can come up just standing when you're ready. Good. And step or walk your feet together. And just notice how you feel. All right. Let's see. So let's come down let's come down to the yoga mat. Belly down. So if you want down dog on the way, you can certainly do that. But we'll do a couple belly down things. And when you do get there, sorry, I'm kind of taking my time here. You can turn your head to one side and just rest. Arms where you want them. You can bend your knees and let the feet go side to side. You can turn your head the other way. Good. And then release your legs back down to the ground. Bring your chin or forehead to the ground. Actually, never mind on that. Let's do Sphinx pose. So let's come up, forearms flat on the ground, palms, elbows under shoulders, fingers spread wide. And just take a moment. So the tendency is to shrug here. So we're just gonna come in and out of a shrug. So you're gonna kind of let your heart sink down as your shoulders kind of stay put, and you're gonna kind of sink into the middle of your bones here. And then push into the floor and come up and kind of do the opposite. So you're gonna round your spine a little bit. You can tuck your chin and then sink yourself down. So a little bit of a back bend. But it's really mostly about the shoulders and the upper back. And then press into the palms, tuck your chin. Good. And then we're going to find like the middle of those two things. So belly hugs into the spine, heart presses forward, Shoulders are broad, and see if you can kind of slide your shoulders, the points of your shoulder blades down towards your heels, or towards your, does that make sense? Down towards your hips. Good. Open the heart. Good. And once you have the shoulders where you want them, let your head just hang heavy. So the shoulders stay put. Yeah, so you get a little stretch through the neck, tops of the shoulders maybe. Maybe you nod your head just really gently left and right, like upside down no. Good. And then come back to cobra. Take another breath in, hug the belly into the spine so you're not overarching the low back. And then as you press into your palms, spin your elbows out and lie down. Turn your head to one side, bend your knees, let your feet go side to side. Good. And then you can release the legs back behind you. You can bring your chin or your forehead to the ground. Bring your arms along the sides of your body. And curl your toes under and just press back through your heels. So kind of lengthening the legs, pressing the pelvis into the ground, hugging your belly in, opening the heart. Gently lift your shoulders up without lifting your back up. So your shoulders push up towards the sky as your shoulder blades squeeze together. And then lengthen your crown of the head away from your toes as you uncurl them. Press your fingers long. Just keep getting really nice and long. Fingers reaching, toes reaching back, crown reaches forward. Take a breath in. You can stay here if you want, or you can start to lift as you lengthen. So hug the belly into the spine. Keep kind of drawing the shoulder blades together. Keep breathing. You don't have to go far. So it's really just about like the strength that you need to lengthen and lift. Keep breathing. Whenever you're ready, you can release. Turn your head to the opposite side as before. Bend your knees and let your feet go side to side. Good. And you can release. Find your way over to a fetal position. Just roll over to one side. And just get comfy for a moment as you breathe and rest. And notice how you feel. Good. And then from here, you can find your way onto your back. Ooh, and when you get there, just get yourself comfortable, get acquainted to how your back feels in this position. We've done a lot of seated, standing, and belly down. Now, finally, on your back. So just notice, maybe rocking a little side to side. You can bring your knees in if you want. Just getting acquainted. Good. And then come to center. You can bring your feet to the floor. You can't see it, but just kind of feel through like heels roughly underneath knees. Palms facing down, shoulder blades tucked underneath a little bit. Actually, here's a nice way to do it. If you take your hands on the outer edges of your yoga mat and kind of pull your hands away from each other as if you could like tear the yoga mat in half by pulling apart. And then feel how your shoulder blades kind of tuck underneath, and then place your hands next to you. So it kind of sets up your shoulders nicely if you do that. But for me right now, my back is arched. So we're going to fix that in a moment. So take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to tuck your tailbone as you round your back a little bit, press into your heels and lift up just like a few inches. And then come back down, right? So on an exhale, press into your feet and your arms a little bit, engage your glutes, tuck your tailbone and lift up. And then lower down on the inhale. Right, so exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine as you roll up, maybe a little higher this time. Inhale down. Good. Next time you lift, keep tucking your tailbone, lift up. You can stay here and kind of work on the strength. You could also interlace your fingers and tuck your shoulder blades a little further underneath. And then press the sidelines of your arms, but keep working on the strength, right? Glutes engaged, hips lifting up, heart opening up towards the chin or towards the sky. Keep breathing. If you liked that other version where you're a little lower and a little like stronger, you can come undo the hands and press the arms. So whichever one works for you, keep breathing. Make sure the neck is mostly relaxed. I like the chin slightly lifted here, so the back of the neck has that natural curve in it. And when you're ready, you can release your arms, kind of flatten out the shoulder blades and slowly lower your back down. Good, and just rest. With your knees bent, you can walk your feet a little wider apart. Arms, hands on your belly, your arms overhead, and let your knees go side to side. Good. And then come back to center. You can walk your feet a little closer together. Bring your arms along the sides of your body, palms down. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, just hug the belly into the spine, kind of flattening the back on the yoga mat. And then keeping, you can stay here if you want, or you can bring one leg up at a 90-degree angle. So your knee is at a 90-degree angle and your hip is at a 90-degree angle. And then maybe the other one. And just keep hugging your belly into the spine. Keep breathing. Right, flattening the back out on the yoga mat. And if you want, if this feels a little too static and still, you could inhale the arms up, either just fingers to the ceiling or overhead, as long as that doesn't get you to arch the back. And then exhale, arms all the way back down to your sides. So inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms down, but keep hugging the belly into the spine, flattening the back out on the yoga mat. Knees at about a 90-degree angle. Just hold. Good. And whenever you feel like you've had enough, you can take a break. You can bring your knees into the chest. Just give yourself a little hug. Maybe a little rock side to side. Good. And from here, you can bring your feet to the floor. With the left knee bent, you could cross your right ankle over the left knee. With a little bit of belly strength, you could bring your knees in, maybe interlace your hands around the left thigh or the left shin, and just creating a stretch that feels good to you as you gently draw the left thigh in, resisting with the right knee. And breathe, maybe a little rock side to side. find whatever version of this would feel best to you. So really just exploring, like I'm setting the framework for what we're doing, but you can add, you can subtract, you could skip. Good. Whenever you feel ready, you can gently release and switch sides. Maybe hands interlace around the right thigh or shin as you draw your knees in, and then, kind of figuring out from here what would be best for you. Good. Whenever you're ready to release, you can release. And our last yoga form will be our supine twist. So you can bring your arms out wide, knees bent. You can scoot your hips a little right of center. And either the knees just go to the left or they come in towards the left arm and then over to the left. So it's up to you. If you need a block between your knees, you can set that up. So just get yourself comfortable in your twist. You can look over your right arm and take a few slow, deep breaths. And it's okay to do it different than you typically do it. Right? I have to twist a little differently lately to accommodate my back. So, and it's hard to, accept those things. So in case you need to hear it, just accept your body where it's at. It's not easy to do, but it's worth it. It's worth the try. It's worth the effort and the practice. Not the try, the practice. And when you're ready, you can start to come up. You can square your hips and just let your back rest a moment. And when you feel ready for it, you can let your hips go a little left of center. The knees can either come in and over to the right or just kind of wherever they're at, they can just go to the right and your head can look left. Right, so deepening the breath, softening where you can. Good. And whenever you feel ready to unwind from your twist, you can start to make your way out. You can square your hips when you're ready. It might feel good to bring your knees into your chest and just rock side to side. Good. And we'll do just one more thing. If you have a block or a pillow or a blanket, can you grab it? I should have mentioned it earlier, but I forgot. And basically, we're just going to do, we did a bridge before, but we'll start in a modified bridge. So you can bring your block underneath your sacrum or your folded up blanket, kind of shoulder blades tucked underneath a little bit, or just kind of like flat against the back. And then if you want, you can move into a modified shoulder stand. This is one of those things, in my opinion, is so simple, but so effective. To me, it always feels so good. A shoulder stand in general has a calming effect. There's a little pressure put on your neck, and in a safe way, it kind of gets your heart to slow down. It turns the relaxation response on your nervous system. But then there's other things, right? Your heart doesn't have to work as hard to get the blood back to it because you're essentially upside down. So just like see if you can settle into this very gentle upside down. And even if your feet are on the floor, right? If you're in a modified bridge, your torso is still at an angle that it usually isn't, right? The hips are above the heart's above the head. So see if you can just bring awareness to your heart as you start to deepen your breath. And just, if you need an affirmation today, one of the one that keeps coming up to me today is I am strong and my body can heal itself. So whatever affirmations your body needs, your heart needs, your mind needs, you can send it. And since you're muted, you can do it silently or out loud. It's up to you. Any variation on this bridge or half shoulder stand, anything you need. Good. And whenever you feel ready, you can stay there as long as you'd like. But when you do feel ready, you can start to bring the feet to the floor if they aren't already. You can lift your hips up and slide your block out from underneath you. And then just let your back settle. Good. And from here, the practice is yours. So I'm going to hand it over to you for the next couple of minutes, 2 or 3. So you can finish your moving practice however you need to finish it, whatever your body's calling for, stillness, movement, stretching, strengthening. So don't overthink it. Just listen to your body. Move the way you need to move. All right, so as you start to feel ready for relaxation, you can set yourself up. Just making sure you're comfortable. Maybe it would feel good to get your feet up, or maybe need a blanket or a pillow. So just take your time. Good. And once you start to settle in, make sure that your body is comfortable, that you're positioned the way you'd like to be positioned. And come back to your slow, deep breath. Practicing that deep belly breath, that first yogic stretch, right? Lungs, ribs, diaphragm, or I should say muscles around the ribs, rather. Good. And as you take maybe a few more slow, deep breaths, letting your mind move through your body. Start with your feet. Just kind of breathe your awareness to your feet. Good. And then notice your legs. Breathe your awareness through your legs. As if you could inhale right into them and exhale right out of them. And then breathe awareness to your low back, to your low belly. Breathe awareness to your mid back, to your upper back, right, to the rib cage and how it wraps around the front, side, and back of the body. Yeah, breathe awareness to your heart, to your shoulders, to the arms. Breathe awareness to your neck and throat, to your head and face, to the very top of your head. And once again to the soles of your feet, and maybe taking just a couple more slow, deep breaths, breathing your awareness to the entirety of your body. Good. And then when you're ready, just let your body breathe itself. Rest, relax, release, let go. Right. So if you feel ready to emerge from your relaxed state, you can start to deepen your breath. You can start to move fingers and toes. Maybe rocking your head side to side. Maybe a yawn. Oh. So take your time if you are ready. If you're not, you're in your own space. You do what you need to do, but if you are ready, maybe bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a big hug. Maybe even rocking side to side, giving your back another massage. Good. And then eventually you can start to roll over to one side. You can make your way back up to seated. But as you do that, keep your attention focused inward. So taking your time. And when you do arrive, just notice how you feel. As you start to make your way back into a sitting position, just like how you started, or probably similar to it. Notice the effect of your practice. Notice what has shifted, what has changed, what has stayed the same. Can you take a few slow, deep breaths and just remind yourself of your grounding practice? And if it feels comfortable, you can bring your hands into prayer. You can bow your head to your heart and just thank yourself for everything you can do today. Connecting to your own self as a means to connect to the world around you, whether that's your community or nature or higher power. Yeah, just feeling connected, right? Jai Bhagwan, Namaste. Good. And when you feel ready, you can lift your gaze. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording. Oh, haha, I almost ended the meeting. How do I stop the recording?